Hey guys, so I want to do evaluating functions. Just kind of plug it in, plug it in. All right, kind of like that commercial. Remember that? What's that commercial? It's gonna bother me. It'll come to me. All right. So a piecewise function, just kind of FYI, is hang on. Is pieces of different functions. So like here, these are two different functions, and they're separated, or they're torn apart, like the pieces are torn apart by the domain. So at -3 here is when the two parts separate. All right, so let's evaluate some functions a minute. This means g of x. So it's saying, hey, for g of x, when x equals -1, what's the value? So we're going to do 8 times -1. So wherever x is, we're going to put in -1 minus 2. So 8 times -1 is -8, minus 2, -10. So that's our answer for that one. F of 2 means when x is 2, so right here, so 7 times 2 squared minus 3 times 2 plus 1. So 2 squared is 4. 3 times 2 is 6. So I'm doing order of operations. So I did exponents, and I'm going to do multiplication. So 7 times 4 is 28. 3 times 2 is 6. And then I'm going to do adding and subtracting left to right. So 28 minus 6 is 22 plus 1. So I'm going to get 23. So f of -2. So we're going to do the same guy, but instead of 2, I'm going to plug in -2. So 7 -2 squared minus 3 times -2 plus 1. So -2 squared means -2 times -2, which is positive 4. 7 times 4 is 28. -3 times -2 is a positive 6. So 28 plus 6, 28, 29, 31. Did not even count right. Would be 34 plus 1, so we get 35. All right, and then let's do this g of 0. So everywhere there's an x, I'm going to plug in 0. So 8 times 0 minus 2. So 8 times 0 is 0 minus 2. I get -2. So just plug it in, plug it in. All right, same thing over here. Oh, yeah, so right here, -6. So I'm going to do -6 where the r is. I'm going to do the plus 6 because he's still inside the radical. That's what this guy is called. He's called a radical. Then I have a plus 3 on the outside. -6 plus 6 is a 0. Square root of 0 is just 0. So I just get 3 for that guy. Then I'm going to do 10. So I'm going to do 10 plus 6 plus 3. 10 plus 6 is 16. Square root of 16 is 4. So I really have 4 plus 3, which is 7. This guy. And then I'm going to do x minus 6. Let's do a different color. X minus 6, and then we have plus 6, and then that plus 3. All right, look here. -6 and that plus 6 are going to cancel. So all I have left with is square root of x and then plus 3. We can't do anything else. We're just substituting. All right, so this is a piecewise function. This means when you have x that's less than 0, for example, Oh, excuse me. It's like middle of the afternoon, so it's like when I'm ready for a nap, but I can't have one. All right, so for example, like -3, then we use this function. Or if x is greater than 0 or equal to 0, like here, or here, we use this function. All right, so let's do that. So this means when x equals -3. Well, -3 is less than 0, so we're going to use him. So we're going to do 6x minus 1. So instead of x, I'm going to plug in -3 minus 1. So -6 times 3, -18 minus 1. So you owe me $18, you owe me one more dollar, you owe me $19. Here, this means x equals 0. Well, x equals 0 is this guy, so we're going to use this function. So I'm going to do 7 times 0 plus 3. So I get 0 plus 3, which is 3. Okay, here, this means x equals 4. So that's greater than 0, so I'm going to use him. So I'm going to do 7 times 4 plus 3. 7 times 4 is 28. 28, 29, 30, 31 is my answer. All right, let's try another one just like that. All right, here's a piecewise function. So this means, hey, when x doesn't equal 5, we're going to use him. When x equals 5, we're going to just use 10. All right, so when x doesn't equal 5, we use this guy. So this means x equals 7. So instead of x, I'm going to plug in 7. So 7 squared minus 25 over 7 minus 5. Well, 7 squared is 49 minus 25. 7 minus 5. 49 minus 25. 24. 7 minus 5 is 2, so I get 12. Okay. And then x is 0. Okay, well that's not 5, so I'm going to use the same thing. So 0 squared minus 25 over 0 minus 5. 0 squared is just 0. 0 minus 5 is -5, so I really have -25 over -5, which is 5. Then I have this guy, x equals 5. And so it says, hey, when x equals 5, the answer is just, right? The answer is just 10. You don't have to do like math or anything, any calculations. All right, let's do another piecewise function. I think there's another. Oh, that's it. Okay. So piecewise function, just like this guy and this guy, you look at the domain when you have the x value, and the x value is in the parentheses, and then you figure out which function. And otherwise, you just plug it in, Glade. Look, that's the name of it. Isn't that nice that I figured it out right in time? Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye.